Good morning, faithful. How are we doing on this beautiful Wednesday morning? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. And we're coming to you with an early edition live. We typically don't start this early, but there's a lot of stuff going around, as you guys know. So we're going to hop into it and get into all of it. Um, I have my coffee here. I got my cow mug. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but it's 9:45 for me. What time is it for you, and where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you watching from? Uh, if you got coffee, cheers. If it's the middle of the day for you, then you're probably not drinking coffee, but I still need my coffee. Oh, yeah. So this is what we're going to do. Clearly, since the last time we went live, and what's good to everyone in the chat, we see the whole squad. Let's go. Drop an SDS if you are vibing with your boy. We see all the squad. We see the squad. But clearly, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Looks like it's about the same time. We're all rocking around the same time. It's beautiful. Let's go. Watching at work. Let's go. San Jose State. Go Sparty. We got Barron tuning in from Dallas. We got Oregon in the building. We got Lincoln. What's good? Ooh, it's early out there for the Hawaii squad. What's good, guys? Someone's asking, what does SDS stand for? So we are the Sourdough Squad. I'm Sourdough Brad, and all of us, we are Sourdough. We are the Sourdough Squad. So SDS is short for Sourdough Squad. Best community on YouTube. I'm just saying. We might be tiny, we might be small, but quietly the best group on YouTube. I'm just saying. I'm heavily biased, but hey, I'm heavily biased. It is what it is. But let's get into some of the situations that the 49ers are into. Let's talk a little bit news. Let's get into it all because there has been some stuff that clearly has been extremely impactful this morning, but we also had some stuff pop off yesterday. So let's start there. We're going to go backwards and work our way forward. And we're going to see how everything played out up until this point. So as we stand right now, okay. All right. Well, anyways, what happened last night is we got two tenders. Given to two players. Offer sheet was accepted at the first right of refusal for Daniel Brunskill, which is at a $2.43 million level. So what that essentially means is it's the lowest level of tender from my understanding. What teams do is they place these tenders on restricted free agents. For this example, the 49ers have an opportunity to match any team that provides a contract offer to Daniel Brunskill. They have the opportunity to match it. I will say this: you guys know I am a big Brunskill fan, probably one of the biggest ones out there. How I'm viewing this situation playing out is I don't necessarily see. I could see Brunskill leaving. Oh. Oh, hold on one second. So this just in from Jim Trotter, NFL. He says, are the 49ers in on Deshaun Watson? Question mark. Not at this point. It is not something they are pursuing, but there could be a scenario in which that changes. Let's go through it. First, Deshaun and his team would have to drive the bus and create an environment in which the 49ers believe they have a credible shot at landing Deshaun Watson. How is that done? Deshaun Watson and his team would essentially have to tell Houston that they will only waive his no trade for SF. Privately, Deshaun has expressed his interest in playing in SF. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, all right. Well, we're going to bail quickly. So we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about this really quickly, and then we'll try to work our way back into it. The Deshaun smoke is starting again, people. Let's work through the Deshaun smoke. All right, let's work through it. We are the smoke chasers. So that is a realm that we feel very comfortable in chasing down these types of situations. So that's huge. And I want to explain why this is very interesting. So we heard yesterday, let's go through it. I think it was Jordan Schultz of the Schultz Report. He came out and said that the 49ers were meeting with Deshaun Watson. Well, that was immediately eradicated from guys like Schrager, Mayoko, Field Yates. It didn't matter. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen a rumor get shot down like that quickly. So that is one interesting piece to this whole situation. It started out interesting, right? So we get that report yesterday. Boom. Deshaun Watson meeting with the 49ers. Then instantly, nope, not happening. They're not meeting, which I believe is true. I don't think they're meeting. However, that doesn't mean there isn't any interest. And now with Jim Trotter, one of the most respected NFL reporters in the league, is clearly setting the table for that interest to be there. So anyways, after that initial report from Jordan Schultz, Jason Dumas from KTVU 4, I believe it is. He's also a host on 95.7 The Game here in the Bay Area. He's a reporter. He's a guy that I actually have had the opportunity to meet and, build somewhat of a relationship with. And we, message back and forth and do all that kind of stuff. So Jason is someone that, I trust. I actually have known Jason for some time. And so I, of course, reach out to Jason once he makes the report, specifically after Jordan Schultz got roasted for putting out that report. He comes back and almost doubles down, if you will. And I think, based on me talking to him, getting his insight into the entire situation, why he would put that out, he basically said straight up to me, he's like, and he went on to Twitter Spaces to explain this later, but he was explaining it to me as he has a source that he feels extremely confident with, that he goes back with a long time. He is not in the business of breaking news. He's not in the business of breaking news. That was just something he had heard and felt confident in putting it out. So we talked about that situation. And I'm trying to think of how to word this properly. Of course, I have people that I have built relationships with around the 49ers, with the 49ers, and, a lot of people. And I'm just saying, I'm not surprised by this Jim Trotter tweet. That's what I'll say. So again, if you're just joining us, Jim Trotter is just putting out that he's planting the seed for Deshaun Watson to the 49ers. He's planting the seed. So the seed just got planted. based on things that I've heard and people that I've talked to, I am not surprised that that Jim Trotter is bringing this up right now. So take that for what it's worth. Could mean absolutely nothing, but I'm not surprised by this Jim Trotter tweet, based on information that I've gathered. So I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of moving parts here. It doesn't mean that the 49ers are going to get Deshaun Watson. It doesn't mean that at all. But it's interesting. It's interesting that we're starting to connect dots here. We're starting to connect dots. We're starting to be able to take information and place it on a linear timeline, and now it's starting to connect. Again, anything is possible with this. Anything that we can think of, a range of outcome could happen when you have this. When you got the tinfoil hat, you can at least be able to look at things through multiple lenses, multiple perceptions, and things like that. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything will happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But I do believe there is interest. And what that means and what that turns into, I have no clue. I have not a clue what that actually means. And, I'm just saying, today can be crazy. Today can be crazy. Absolutely insane. Okay, let me recap it really quickly. Just got here. Andrew just got here. Make sure you smash that like button if you're just hopping in here. Jim Trotter has reported. And again, Jim Trotter does not mess around like this. Jim Trotter is someone that I am not going to question in regards to his reporting. He is very tapped in, one of the most tapped in. And Jim Trotter is planting the seeds. Okay, we got a recent we got a recent tweet just now. But at this time, the 49ers are not interested in creating unnecessary drama. They like Trey Lance and are happy with him. But at the same time, it could be considered foolish not to seriously look into Watson if a deal can be done. Okay, so I'm just saying. Like these dots and the way information is now connecting, just be prepared. I'm just saying. I'm not. This is Jim Trotter from the NFL. He's an NFL reporter. I'm going to read through it one more time. I am going to read through it one more time. Are the 49ers in on Deshaun Watson? Question mark. Not at this point. It is not something they are pursuing, but there could be a scenario which that changes. Let's go through it. First, Deshaun and his team would have to drive the bus and create an environment in which the 49ers believe they have a credible shot at landing Deshaun Watson. Let's stop there. The 49ers and Deshaun Watson almost got a deal done last year. Before anything like the crazy off-field stuff happened, again, we're just working through this. Just roll with me. We're working through this. We're talking about it, and we're going to see how it aligns. They almost got a deal done last year. So with that being considered, they have already met. They have already had discussions. They have already done these things. It was going to likely happen. But Deshaun got in trouble, and that canceled everything. So again, keep in mind, create an environment which the 49ers believe they have a credible shot. Deshaun wanted to come to the Niners. The Niners wanted Deshaun. They had to cancel that because of the off-field issues. That is real. Then he goes on to say, how is that done? Deshaun Watson and his team would essentially have to tell Houston that he will only waive his no-trade clause for San Francisco. Privately, Deshaun Watson has expressed an interest in playing for San Francisco. Not only has he done it privately, he has done it externally. He has done it externally. You guys remember last year he was commenting on 49er fan page's Instagram posts of him. Like, I'm just saying, just rock with me for a second. Just rock with me for a second. I know this sounds insane. I know it sounds insane, but let's work through it. This is a very credible source. This is not someone who would put anything out in a huge thread form in a very particular, precise way if there wasn't real smoke. Okay? Okay? Work with me. Work with me on this. Just keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Think about the craziness that has surrounded this team. Just keep an open mind. So then he goes on to say, Deshaun Watson and his team would have to broker a deal knowing that SF does not have the draft capital that Houston desires. It could become a game of chicken then. Deshaun Watson could threaten to sit out a second season, but would he? Why would Deshaun really trying to force his way to the 49ers? That's what it's sounding like from that particular situation. Jim Trotter goes on to say, if Team Watson were to get Houston to reconsider its demands and create an environment in which SF has a legitimate chance at landing Watson, then the 49ers would be willing to engage because Watson is that good. But at this time, the 49ers are not interested in creating unnecessary drama. Go back to yesterday when they just completely shot down the tweets. They are not going to let that sit out there. They're not going to allow that to stir. They shot it down immediately. They like Trey Lance and are happy with him. But at the same time, it could be considered foolish not to seriously look into Watson if a deal can be done. Okay. So again, we have Jordan Schultz coming out first. Then we have Jason Dumas coming out second. I'm just saying. Follow the smoke. Connect the dots. Jim Trotter is not coming out and putting out a lengthy thread like this. I think it was a total of 5 tweets explaining this entire situation if there wasn't any legitimate smoke. So again, based on we had 2 reports come out yesterday that the 49ers were interested in Deshaun Watson. I was able to check on one. And again, based on other information that I've been able to gather, I'm not surprised by this Jim Trotter tweet. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. But my goodness, that's wild. So what do you guys think? Understanding the situation at play, understanding the 49ers were able to restructure George Kittle, Eric Armstead. They were able to create $18 million in available cap space by pushing that money back, converting it into signing bonus. They've been able to completely open up cap space, which again gives them the flexibility to keep Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster for as long as they need to. They have a deep enough roster. What do you guys think? I know you guys don't want to hear it. He said, kill the Watson talk. I think no. What do we got? I think no. Kenyon says 49ers need to end all the drama by cutting Jimmy and announcing Trey Lance as their QB1 for the 2022 season. Back the kid. And I agree with that. If Trey Lance is the guy, you have to make him the guy at some point. This continuous cycle of this, like, at least it feels like, I don't know how to word it properly, but lack of faith. I don't know. In Trey Lance, hold on. It is interesting. But I want to see what you guys think. In my opinion, I would just stick with Lance. Like you said, we don't have any draft capital to give to Houston. We don't. But could you conceptualize a situation where Houston is looking again? Houston got a great look at Trey Lance. Trey Lance beat Houston week 17. So they got to see it up close and personal. You can also rationalize what his value, the value that was put into Trey to get him. We've also talked about if Trey Lance was in this class, he would be the number 1 overall pick if he was coming out this year. So, my goodness. I'm sick of the drama too, but I can't not talk about it. Justin says, I don't want to wait however long this suspension is going to be. Luke says, you see my comment, and would you do it? Let me go back up. I think I missed your super chat too. Let me get the super chat. Missed that. Shout out Luke. And he also added here. He says, Kyle drafted Lance, hoping he would be Deshaun, so watch him turn Trey into turn Trey into him via trade instead of development. So I've kept the belief that I've wanted Kyle to draft a rookie. I don't know if Kyle wanted a rookie. And if you look at this last year, I feel like it feels like that. It feels like he's just like, he doesn't have time to develop a kid. He wants someone who's ready to go right now. Doesn't want to wait. You have a roster that's ready to go. You have a roster that will compete for a championship with a viable quarterback option. So wow. Today's crazy. Again, I'm not surprised. Based on information that I've gathered on my own, I'm not surprised by this Jim Trotter tweet. I'm just letting you guys know that. Jay Go Crazy says Trey's going to be great. Play the kid. SoCal wants Deshaun out here. Just rocking my popcorn while Niner folks lose their ish. Oh, yeah? Get ready. Get ready. It's going to be wild. Like, if something actually happened, like, if you would have to imagine Trey would be a part of that trade if it was something to go down. Whew. Hey, trust me. I'm right there with you. I've been in it since last January when Deshaun was the target, when Deshaun was liking and commenting on 49er fan page's posts, when it was heavily reported Deshaun and the 49ers were linked. And from information that I've had, they were in heavy discussions and close to getting something done before Deshaun got in trouble. I can't stop with it. I wouldn't have brought it up today at all. I wouldn't have brought it up today at all if Jim Trotter didn't just tweet all that while we were on live. Again, this was the last tweet from Jim Trotter. The organization has no plans to meet with Watson at this point, which is correct with the reports being refuted yesterday. And as I said earlier, per Jim Trotter, they are not pursuing him. But if he were to create a scenario in which he could fall into their laps, things would get interesting. I agree. I agree with this. 95% chance it doesn't happen. But I will also say this. That 5% that he left out is where all deals get done. I'm just saying. That 5% that he left out is where all these crazy deals get done. So the only reason why I'm spending this much time on it is because, like I said, this matches with what I've been hearing. This matches with kind of some of the things. So we're building a case here. We are building a case here. We are reporting the case in which we are viewing it and we are perceiving it. That's all I'm doing here. So all I'm doing is trying to, again, take all this information, drop it on a linear timeline, and make it make sense. That's it. Make it make sense. So Jim Trotter, I hope you guys realize what those kinds of conditioning like tweets are supposed to do. It's supposed to plant the seed that, wait, can we get Watson? Can that actually happen? Yes? No? And that's how it starts. Again, plant the seed, it grows, it blossoms. Just saying. Official BNA says, I don't want to wait for our life. I don't want to wait for life to be over. I want to know right now, what will it? Oh my goodness. I feel you. Hurry up, trade Jimmy. The suspension. I know what you're trying to say. The suspense is killing you. It's killing me too, man. And again, I was just getting ready to get on and get happy to talk about how the 49ers were able to tender Daniel Brunskill. They were able to tender Azeez Al-Shaair at the second round level. I'm not sure a team is going to be willing to pay Azeez Al-Shaair and give up a second round. So I was getting on here to talk about moves and like the cap space opening up and how the 49ers just allowed themselves to give them time in regards to the situation with Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, that's why everyone was freaking out yesterday. That's why everyone's been freaking out all week, is because once you see the dominoes fall, people assumed that Jimmy had to be off the roster. Had to be off the roster by today. 49ers clearly had a plan in place where they knew that wasn't going to be the case. They knew that they were going to be able to extend out Eric Armstead or restructure Armstead. They knew they were going to be able to restructure Kittle, and as a result, created $18 million in cap space like that. That's why I don't do the cap thing, because they have so many workarounds that they can flip on and off at any time to get more cap space. It's hard for me to look at the numbers that are out there and hold them to those numbers, because we can see at any time these things can happen. These things can happen where they can create space out of nowhere. So now the space is there. The 49ers are now, I believe, around $4 million under the cap, meaning they have allocated money for Charvarius Ward, not West, Ward. Charvarius Ward, that means with that money accounted for, I believe it doesn't account for the tender of Daniel Brunskill and Azeez Al-Shaair, but it still falls in that same category of around $4 million. So based on how it's been structured up until this point, they have set themselves up to be able to sign their free agents, including Oren, the special teams guy that we got from the Packers. They have budgeted enough money to be able to re-sign those guys today and keep Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster. And when we talked about this earlier, and we talked about keeping Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster, it wasn't to keep him through next year. And it was interesting that a lot of people took it that way when it was being reported that Jimmy Garoppolo, oh, well, he's going to be here on next year. Like, no, he's not going to be here next year. Jimmy Garoppolo will be moved, but with the 49ers front office has made it crystal clear they are not moving Jimmy Garoppolo until they get what they think he's worth. And I know a lot of people are upset at that. Daniel said, I will wait for whatever happens. And that's a good do this. Just wait. And we're not making any grand proclamations. We're not spitting hot takes. That's not what we do here. We're not projecting out. All we are doing is taking all the information that has been coming out the last 2 days, 3 days, months, since last January, and putting it on a timeline. And if you put everything on a linear timeline and you take a step back, and then you see Jim Trotter tweet like a 7-tweet thread about the 49ers being interested in Deshaun, but they're not, and Deshaun being interested in the 49ers, but maybe not. I'm just saying. If you got one of these, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I wasn't planning on coming on here to talk about Deshaun Watson at all. Even with the information that I gathered yesterday, wasn't going to even bring it up. Wasn't going to even touch it. Because why would we? Because I'm in the same boat. I would love to see this team identify their quarterback and then say he's our quarterback. I'm with you guys there. I'm tired. I'm honestly tired of the back and forth and the questions surrounding the quarterback situation with the 49ers. Like, it is crazy. But we can't look past what is happening. We can't just shoo it. Oh, no. Trey Lance is our quarterback. We know how they talked about Trey Lance all year. We know how the team talked about Trey Lance last year. Players, coaches, media. I mean, the narrative is out. So they could be sold, which they keep telling us. But just like Jim Trotter is bringing up in a very delicate way. Again, if you don't, go look at the Jim Trotter tweet yourself. Go pull it up. Go marinate through it. Like, get a sense of it. And I'm just saying, it's interesting. It's very interesting. So, what Brad would rather, I think this is a question. Would you rather spend money on solidifying our O-line and defense, Chandler Jones, Honey Badger, or both? It's clearly going to be a situation where it's both. The 49ers offensive line needs to be solidified, because I think what I was going on to say before this Jim Trotter tweet came out is I see a world where a team comes and gives Daniel Brunskill a contract and the 49ers don't match it. So I could see a world where the 49ers are down Laken Tomlinson and Daniel Brunskill. So yeah, we gotta get the O-line fixed, but I also want to see the D-line fixed as well. I would say the O-line is more crucial. to the success of the overall team right now. Again, Chandler Jones, I think, would be a huge piece to add, but it almost feels like a luxury at this point more than the necessity of having to replace multiple starters on the offensive line, and that's a group that's very important. That's a group that's very important. So I would love to see them. I would love to see them go after Chandler Jones. All right, that's cool. Of course, my computer or StreamYard is not allowing me to share my screen. So would love to be able to pull this stuff up and we can talk about it at the same time. But my computer is not playing nice with me. So that's fine. So what do you got? Let's reset the stage. We've had an opportunity to talk a little bit more. We've had more people hop into the live. What do you think about the Deshaun smoke? What do you think? Again, you need this. We can't use logic here. We can't use logic. We have to use tinfoil hat logic. We have to use tinfoil hat logic. What do you think? Do you think there's a world that exists? Again, ranges of outcomes. Deshaun being on the 49ers might have a 1% range of outcome of happening. But is it a range of outcome? And if so, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need for it to bust open. So what is it going to be? Do you think they announced Deshaun today? Or are we just smoking that media pack, getting us talking about clicks and narratives? What do we think? Jesse doesn't want them. Red says it's not going to happen. Hendrick says, I don't think it's smoke. His talent overcomes a 6 to 8 game suspension. The art collector says it's wearing us out. I feel like at this point, I'm numb to it. After, again, I've been on this stuff. So I've been on the 49ers changing their quarterback since week 5 of 2020. That's how long I've been at this. So if you're worn out, I'm worn out as well. Let's see what else we got. Big Mike says not going to happen. CJ says Watson has his agent tell the Texans he'll only waive his no trade for the Niners. Done deal. Let's see. Hell yeah. Hey, I love it. I love it. Jesus calls it clickbait. Let's see. Oh, there's plenty to talk about. I had no plans of talking about this. No plans. I wasn't going to bring up Deshaun's name at all today. But something to watch. I agree. I think that could be looming. I think Deshaun Watson could get suspended. So that will be something that we have to monitor if that occurs. Chris says, I like Lance a lot. I love his upside, but if there's even a 5 to 10% chance of it happening, that being Deshaun to the 49ers, I feel like we need to take it because we passed on the proven product too many times. I mean, Kyle passed on Deshaun. Kyle knows what it's like. Kyle's know what it's like to make a mistake and pass on someone. Clearly, he didn't want to make that mistake again this year, so they made the move to go up, get Trey. Let's see. We got a fan here. Montana, Willis, Cap, Bowman, Gore, JG. I think I might be a fan, bro. I don't know. Do you got that Rice though? Do you got that Rice jersey? If you got that Rice jersey, apparently that's the only way you can be quantified as a fan per per sources. Per sources. You can only have a Rice jersey to call yourself an official 49er fan. Per sources. Per sources. Uh so this is an interesting point. I refuse to talk about the cap. I refuse to talk about the cap. I refuse because of exact reasons like today. Exact reasons like today. They were able to make moves. They were able to clear up cap space. They were able to create 18 million like that. So this is why I don't talk about cap, because that's why I don't like I've maintained a bit of a uh reserved stance in regards to the Jimmy Garoppolo value conversation. I still maintain Jimmy Garoppolo has value, and I think I would probably be aligned closer with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan in regards to not bending over backwards and ensuring that you get capital for Jimmy Garoppolo, and whatever it takes, you do that. So I'm in that boat. I still think Jimmy Garoppolo is worth more than people want to give him credit for, at least what the Twitter streets are talking about. What the Twitter streets are talking about is just cut him and release him because you need the money. They don't need the money. They don't. They cleared the money like that. They're going to ensure that they get capital in return for Jimmy Garoppolo. But can you imagine? Think of it. Think of this aspect. Just think. Again, grab your hat for this. You can only listen to me if you're wearing the hat. So if you don't have one, go into your kitchen, get some tinfoil, make a hat. Mine's branded poorly, but you can see we're branded on our tinfoil hat. Not very good. But get this, put it on your head. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. I've been doing this long enough. I track this stuff very closely. Just keep this on you. Keep it on you. Oh, what I was going to talk about. In a world, again, we're hypothetical. You need this hypothetical. Tinfoil hat time. We're tinfoil hatting it. This isn't like a projection. This is tinfoil hat discussion. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This is tinfoil hat discussion. Okay? You need this to be in this conversation. If the 49ers get Deshaun Watson, and let's say whatever, they give up Trey Lance, and they send Trey Lance and some additional packages. I missed a super chat. Okay. Let's say they get Trey Lance. They trade for Deshaun Watson. Trey Lance goes to the Texans. How much more valuable does Jimmy Garoppolo become? Because what were we talking about? We were talking about how Jimmy Garoppolo was the top quarterback available before Deshaun became available. But if the 49ers get Deshaun, I missed another super chat. Oh, I did. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I miss super chats, so thank you for calling them out. Again, tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat. 49ers get Deshaun. They lightweight own the quarterback market because then that increases the value of Jimmy Garoppolo. So it becomes a double down move. Not only are you attaining the number one asset on the open market, you then hold on to the number two asset that becomes number one. Just saying. David says, trade Jimmy G for 5th round pick. Niners suck at picking second and third rounders. I am going to make a proposition that the 49ers let me draft in the 2nd and 3rd round. Just saying. But I have to be wearing the tinfoil hat. I will only draft in the 2nd and 3rd round if I can wear the tinfoil hat while I make the selection. Just saying. This is a crazy conversation. Again, I had no anticipation of talking about this today. I had no anticipation of talking about this unless this happened. So I was waiting. For something like this to occur, and it came out. Tony says, do you think Brendel has what it takes to be the long-term answer at center? I don't know. I like Brendel. I think he's serviceable in a pinch. He's not a guy that you're going to want out there starting for you 17 games. And again, he's 29 years old, probably going to be 30 here pretty quick. So if you want a long-term center, you got to go draft someone. This is a great interior offensive line class. There are great centers available. Draft someone. You can find a starter in the 2nd, in the 3rd, in this year's class, maybe even the 4th if you go for a little bit of a developmental guy. I would say Brendel is a great piece. He's a good option. But he's not a long-term answer. So again, we were coming on here. So I saw someone else say this. Where is it? Someone asked me this specifically. Whatever, I can't find it. Just saying. It is interesting. So Jim Trotter opened it up, man. Jim Trotter opened it up. So again, let's do percentage chance. Let's pull the chat. And before we pull the chat, hit the like because it is a crazy 49er world we live in. And I don't know, maybe liking this video will help us kind of come to a logical thought process in regards to how this is going down. But drop what you think from a percentage standpoint this could happen. Deshaun Watson traded to the 49ers. What percent chance do you think it's gonna occur? Randy says 10%. And I don't think that's too bad. Mark, so you're saying there's a chance, Mark. You're saying there's a chance. Oh, boys, there's a chance. Oh, there's another chance. Oh, Melvin says 50. Melvin says 50. Oh, we got our first 0%. Bay Area Baller says 10%. AFix says 5%. 0.2%, 1%, 116. Oh my goodness. 2%, 20%, 1%, 4.9%. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That might be the one. 0%, 25%, not a snowflake's chance in hell. 0%, 10%, 0%, 5%, 0%, 2%, 5%. So you can see chat ain't too happy. Oh, look at Bryant. He's feeling a little hot and spicy. He had his coffee this morning. But you can see it. We're not getting a ton of high percentages. So, and I would say that's a correct way to look at it. I'm not going to say 0. I wouldn't say 0. Personally, I wouldn't say 0. Ooh, nice. Trey Lance percent. So 5%, 1%, 15%, 10%, no chance. 35%, no chance in hell. My sources. 5 to 10%. Watson is the guy they hope Lance will become. That's true. JG says not a chance. Tanner says 3%. No chance. Ride with Lance. What is happening? Start Lance. Yeah, exactly. So you're saying there's a chance. 0, 15. Oh, this guy's just getting crazy. 0%, 49%, 25%, 1%, 25%, 1%, or 100%. Ooh, demon time. 0% too much baggage. Art said he's riding with Trey. King Geo says I'll still take Watson. Cap says Trey all day. Johnny's giving it 0%. Douglas giving it 3%. All right. We got to the bottom. All right. So I'll give you my percentage. And like I said, just to give perspective, this quarterback situation has been something that I have been sniffing around since week 5 of 2020. Let me say that again. Week 5 of 2020 is when I realized there was massive issues between Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan. That was that. Do you remember that Miami Dolphins game? Again, you can scout a lot just by scouting body language. And so just based on the body language alone from that week 5 game against the Dolphins, I knew it was over between Kyle and Jimmy. And so that's when I started scouting quarterbacks. I started scouting quarterbacks in the 2020 year of 2020, week 5. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trey Lance. Didn't need to scout Lawrence. I started paying attention and scouting quarterbacks week 5 of 2020. Almost the first day that the season ended. What did we start to hear? Deshaun Watson smoke. Okay, Deshaun Watson smoke. That's cool. It was light. It was light smoke. Then I go to the combine. Or excuse me, not the combine. The Senior Bowl. And the second I get to the Senior Bowl, this was last week in January. The second I get to the Senior Bowl, Javi calls me up. Hello? He's like, bro, you're not going to believe what I just heard. What'd you hear? 49ers are going after Stafford. Oh, really? Stafford? That's interesting. Okay. Well, let me reach out to a couple people I know. Let me see what they say. Confirmed Stafford, and then said, don't sleep on Deshaun Watson. I was like, what? Deshaun? Okay. What happened? I think it was on Tuesday I arrived in Mobile, Alabama. Javi told me by the end of the week, at the end of the Senior Bowl game, Stafford is going to be traded. and the 49ers are heavy hitters in it. You guys remember all the Stafford smoke to the 49ers all week at the Senior Bowl, and it just kept building and building and building. Then what happened? Literally that night on Saturday after the Senior Bowl, boom, Schefter tweet. Matthew Stafford has been traded to the Rams. Okay. What did we hear next? Oh, that Deshaun smoke picked up heavy. Then it was literally it was a race between Deshaun Watson and the 49ers to get a deal done. That's where it was going. And it had almost gotten to that point where the 49ers and Deshaun and the Texans were close to getting something done. Deshaun gets in trouble. What does that force the 49ers to do? It forces them to completely pivot. They lost out on Stafford, officially lose out on Watson after they've already made it, I think, pretty crystal clear that they were moving off of Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, well, now what do you do? Do we go after Sam Darnold? They did. They tried to. They tried to get Sam Darnold. Do you guys remember? I made a huge stink about that. I said, do not bring Samuel Darnold onto my 49ers or I'm going to freak out. Do not bring him. Remember? I'm a big Sam Darnold is a bust guy since USC. So I wasn't the person that was like, oh, it's Adam Gase. No, Sam Darnold is no good. He has a very good arm. He's not good processor, and he's not a good leader of men, which we found out is a prerequisite for being an effective quarterback, right? Just ask Jimmy Garoppolo. So we went through that whole situation. Remember my quarterback chart with Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with his hand on the wall, like acting all crazy, and we had like 20 faces of quarterbacks on that wall. Do you remember? Because the 49ers had to pivot off Stafford and Watson and try to find a succession plan to move off Jimmy Garoppolo. Then their succession plans failed, and then they had to turn to the draft. And based on the way the class was stacking up, it looked like early that 5 quarterbacks potentially could go 5 up, 5 down. We understood Lawrence was going 1. We understood number 2, Zach Wilson was going to the Jets. That left 3 available. I believe the Dolphins were picking at 3, or was Philly. I can't remember. I think it was the Dolphins. And then we made a 3-team trade. We made a 3-team trade to get to 3. What did that signal? Trey Lance. 49ers draft Trey Lance. But they keep Jimmy. What happened after they drafted Trey Lance? They brought in Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was in the building. Joe Flacco came to San Francisco while Jimmy Garoppolo was on the roster. And he wasn't coming to back up Jimmy Garoppolo. Flacco was coming in to be a potential bridge. Then they went through the list of bridge quarterbacks, and they struck out on bridge quarterbacks. And then they were forced to keep Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance together. Fast forward, you guys lived this last year. I don't need to explain this last year to you. What happened, the dynamic of this year, all the noise of this year. I don't need to explain it to you. You guys have you lived it, and it's very recent in your memory. Fast forward to now. Hold on. What's this saying? Fast forward to now. Do not sleep on anything. That's all I'm saying. I have lived this quarterback. Again, we're talking about, why are we here? Why are we talking? I've lived it, guys. I'm right there with you. I'm right there in the thick of it with you. I'm again, I have a timeline in my head where I take each one of these points where they put either a touch, a report, inside information that I have gotten that has checked out. It gets dropped on a timeline. So whenever I go think, 49ers quarterback situation, what do I go to? I go to my timeline that started in week 5 of 2020. I could imagine the 49ers doing something dramatic. I can. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's impossible that Deshaun Watson will be a 49er because I don't believe that's true. I think there is a world that exists. Now, it could be a very small outcome or a potential percentage chance that it will actually occur. But I still think there's a percentage chance that this is legit. This is legit. And so now we wait. Now we wait. We wait and see. We wait and see what the hell happens. Again, Jimmy's no trade clause today dissolves. So the 49ers could ship Jimmy Garoppolo anywhere he wants. The 49ers could send Jimmy wherever. He cannot dictate trade terms anymore. So the 49ers have leverage there. Again, you can add the also leverage piece. Again, big picturing this. If the 49ers were to go acquire Deshaun Watson, at the same time, they're also raising the value of Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, you have to listen to this conversation with this on. If you don't have this on and you're not open to the craziness, then it's just going to sound like crazy talk. But again, just think about it. Think about galaxy braining this in a way that doesn't make sense to us who are just kind of watching things as it plays out. The 49ers have an opportunity potentially to not only get Deshaun Watson, but simultaneously raise the value of Jimmy Garoppolo. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. So now what I think happens is we just wait. We just wait. We wait and see. So as we know in the chat, we don't think it's a extremely viable outcome. We don't think it's a situation that will happen. You know, I think if we were all betting people and we had to put our money on it, I'm not assuming that we are putting money down that the 49ers trade for Deshaun Watson, which means they're trading Trey Lance. I don't think any one of us would do that. But we can't discredit the past and the current rumblings and how they tie into the past and how you can see a path to the future. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean it's a real possibility. But we're just, again, taking all the info, dropping it on a timeline, and re-explaining it. So it's going to be interesting. Vish says that's why they only signed Sudfeld. No other quarterback. Watson is a possibility. So we talked about earlier what it was the percentage chance that you think it's going to happen. Now I want to ask you, would you do it? If you're Kyle Shanahan and you're John Lynch and you have a quarterback who you believe in, but see a developmental path forward where he needs some time, or you see an opportunity where you can get Deshaun Watson. Would you go get Deshaun Watson? Even if that meant trading Trey Lance. Again, this is purely Just asking. We're just asking the question because I just want to see the vibe of how everyone's feeling about this. I just want to see how everyone's feeling about this. So Jay Frank says no, not trading Lance for Watson. Not going to happen. Ken says he would absolutely do it. I'm not pulling that one up. Cute guy says no, he wouldn't do it. Jay wouldn't do it. Gino said, I do it if I don't 100% believe in Trey Lance. Sergeant Bubbly says, no way, keep this kid and build. Let's see. They spent 3 first-round picks and a third on Trey Lance. Houston wants 3 first picks plus Trey Lance or Kittle or Debo too. I don't think Kittle or Debo would be involved. I don't think Kittle and Debo would be involved, but there could be other people involved. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. Could be, like, you think about it, maybe Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk, couple picks. It's just a thought. Just a thought. Jesus says if he's John Lunch, I love the autocorrect. Whenever it always autocorrects it to lunch, and it gives me a good chuckle. But I know what you're saying. He says no. Kenyon says no. Tej would do it. Don says yes. I would trade Lance for Watson. 1 for 1, yes. Keep the kid. So it's pretty all over the place. It's pretty all over the place. It's as wild as thinking Mac Jones was going at 3. I actually think this is a little bit more. And again, I came on live right away that day. Right away. When Schefter said Mac Jones at 3, I came onto this channel and I said, no, 49ers are not doing that. This, I think, has more viable option than Mac Jones at 3, if I have to give my honest opinion. Keep Trey Lance and build. Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't trade Lance. Watson is trouble with the legal case. That's still a sticky situation. Amelia says stick with Trey. Jacob would do it. Monrick says after listening to your timeline events, I would say yes. Hendrick says, bro, we're honestly speculating how good Lance could be. We already know how good Watson is. Top 5, no debate. So that's where this I think has legs. Is because if for whatever reason the stars align and the trade compensation and whatever crazy crap behind the scenes needs to go into place, you would be getting a top 5 guy opposed to a guy who could be a top 5 guy. And I think that could be the difference, man. Yeah. I'm not making the trade. I'm not making the calls. I'm not the one doing these deals. I just talk about them. And we put a tinfoil hat on and we throw crazy theories against the wall. See what happens. Keep Lance. Yes, I would do it. Keep the kid. Long shot, not impossible, but not happening. No, let's let Lance dance already. Heck no. Play the kid, clear the cap space, boost the O-line. Keep Lance. That's a big 10-4 negative. No, because it will take more than Lance. It will take more than Lance. You've already thrown so many assets at Trey Lance and haven't given him a chance. No way I go for Watson. If you want to go and win a Super Bowl, trade Lance and get Watson. Bubba would do it. Luke says, yes, Watson is already who you hope Lance will become. Take proof over hope. Again, we also have to think about it, too, from Kyle and John's perspective. This is a business, and they are in the business of winning now. And I think one of the things with the NFL, there used to be a 2 to 3 year grace period. I think that doesn't exist anymore. I don't think that exists. I think with social media, the 24-hour news cycle, and the constant just pressure that is placed on the sport, I don't think they're patient. I think it's a year to year league. It used to be you'd get some time and people would give you the grace to grow. And, especially with the quarterbacks, again, it used to be the thought process, oh, they need 3 years. They need 2 to 3 years sitting, developing, which in a lot of instances makes a lot of sense because I think the biggest hurdle with quarterbacks is developing the mind. It's not developing the physical tools. Again, you're drafting these guys already having the tools. What you need to do is get this up to point and on par. So, but they don't do that anymore. They don't have people aren't patient. People aren't patient. So, look at Kyle. Look at how impatient he was with the whole situation with Jimmy. So I'm just saying 49ers came under a lot of fire last year. They're still under fire with how they're handling the Jimmy situation. But I do like this. We have been really divided on the quarterback conversation. So it is cool. I will say that. It is cool to see the majority say they're going with Trey. Now, again, you can make it's an art. We're having a debate. We're having a conversation. We're playing both sides of it. We're obviously spending a lot of time on the Watson side because the Watson side is brand new. I think we all kind of agree, at least with what I am seeing in the chat, that we would be patient, at least with the SDS and what I'm seeing. We would be patient. We would allow it to take some time for him to develop and see what he can be and build around him, give him weapons, put him in a position to be successful and see what happens. Who knows what he could be? Maybe he could be better than Deshaun Watson minus the baggage, and he's 21 years old. There is a world that exists that is a real thing. But that isn't on us or a decision that we have to make. It's not on us. It's on Kyle. What does Kyle want to deal with next year? Does Kyle want to bring the kid along? Does he want to play the kid? Or has he gotten a taste and he's like, give me the vet? So we'll see. And again, the other aspect too of it, when kind of swaying it back to Trey's cost controlled, baby. Trey is a cost-controlled rookie. He's on that rookie wage scale, which means you can build more around him. You move Jimmy. Now, all of a sudden, the 49ers have about $30 million in cap space. Then you could build out that offensive line, add more secondary help, add more defensive line depth, and build around the kid. Bring in more weapons, bring in more running backs, bring in more tight ends, bring in more offensive line, and build a roster around Trey Lance, and then see what happens. So, I like this. I like this comment. First time here. So refreshing to see a constructive chat channel. The SDS is the best. The SDS, the chat, our crew, we're the best because we might not agree on everything and we might not see everything the same way, but we are open to bringing a discussion forward and talking about it and ripping it apart, bringing in other perspectives. Not one person is right, not one person is wrong, especially about a conversation about something that is purely speculative. So I agree. SDS is undefeated. I'm not I don't hop into other chats. I'm not in other people's YouTubes. YouTube spaces or whatever. So I don't know what their chat looks like. I just know that we have a great vibe here. I know we have a great vibe here. We have a great discourse. We have a great ability to go back and forth. And that's what's really cool. That is what's really cool. We try to keep everything in a through this lens, through rational thought, not emotion, because we understand there's a lot of people who get emotional, and that's fine. And you can go to multiple places to kind of get your emotional kind of energy out. We get emotional here too, but we also try to process it through the logic. We're trying to process it through logic, timelines, stacking information together, and just asking the questions. Is this real? Is it viable? Do we think it makes sense? Does it not make sense? And we're having a great discussion. So I have to tip the cap to the chat, tip the cap to anyone who's watching for the first time. We appreciate you guys. Again, SDS is undefeated. If you want to join the SDS, all you got to do is you just subscribe, hit the like button every time we're on one of these lives. You just come in there, you smash the like button, don't even think about it. It's like a reflex. You're just like, oh, Brad's live. Like, it's a reflex. You hit the subscribe, you hit the like, you're in. And the way you stay in, good vibes, good energy, good discussion, thought processes. We get emotional. And there's times when we get real emotional, but we like to have conversations. So shout out to SCS, because we are having a great conversation. It's a hard conversation to have. It is a hard conversation to have. It is a hard, because what have we talked about, man? What do we talk about on this channel all the time? We want a quarterback. Let's go. Welcome, Albert, to the SDS. Let's go. Shout out to squad. If you are new here, you have subbed, you have liked, and you bring good vibes, welcome to the SDS. We are very happy to have you. We are very, very happy to have you. So I love to see that. Love to see that. Let's go. Welcome the boy in here. Welcome the boy. Oh, we got two screens. I got two screens. Oh, let's go. He's already about it. He's already about it. Let's go. Vibes. Appreciate the SDS, man. Yes, sir. You've been in here for a minute, my boy. You've been in here for a minute. So I appreciate all you guys. Yes, you have been here for a minute, Rome. Hey, my day ones, no, it's been a grind. I mean, we got 400. We had about 340 in here, bro. There was a time when we were doing lives and we had like 10, 15 people in here for like an extended period of time. So if you are a day one, we salute you. We salute you, because there was a time when we first got started out here. We had like 10, 15 people in here. And we were vibing, all 10 and 15 of us, just like we're vibing. That's some of the original mod squatters. You see those wrenches. You see the wrenches. Those are like day one guys. So we shout you guys out. Appreciate you guys. Welcome everyone to the SDS. If you're brand new, just wanted to show some love for the chat. Yes, Luke, you are probably one of the like legitimate like day ones. Oh, I got to get you set up, my boy. I got to get you set up. Don't worry. I think there's a couple people too that I need to get modded up. Let's go. Welcome, cute guy. I love that name. So good. cute guy. We got cute guy in the SDS legend. Let's go. Let's go. You see the bread emojis comes with the sourdough squad. Mods unite. All right. All right. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's doesn't we passed out our flowers. We passed out our flowers. We passed out our flowers. What do we want to talk about now? Because again, the path Willie, no, I don't. I have heard of. I know him. Yeah, I know him, but I don't know. I don't know. I assumed he was doing his thing. I don't know. Um, oh, we could talk about O line. We could talk about O line. We could. We could. So, like I said, dude, I was coming on here to talk run skill. I was coming on here to talk Aziz Al-Shaair. You know, sorry, I'm refreshing Twitter to make sure I don't miss anything. Whew. Boy, oh boy. Today's going to be wild, it feels like. Today feels like it's going to be wild. I don't know if it actually is going to be announced today. I don't know. Like, time. It just feels like, oh my goodness. Feels like it could happen. O-line chat. Ooh, Parham. So Parham, bro. Again, we scout body composition. So, you know, you hear a lot of people when we're talking about prospects, body composition, how they're built, what they look like. We don't pause for anything. We go through because we're scouting. We're scouting the we're scouting the body, we're scouting the person, we're scouting the intangibles, we're scouting the physical traits, we're scouting it all. So I just want to make that real crystal clear. I think it was Donald Parham. Is it? No, I don't know if Donald is. I might be getting that name mixed up with the Chargers tight end. But Parham out of Memphis, center, guard. That dude is a thick boy. My goodness, that boy is triple C'd up. Like, again, we're looking at the Dylan, thank you. We're just looking at the build. I was at the combine and I'm like watching these guys. I'm like, I'm doing during warmups, I'm scouting like just purely off body composition. Like who has a body that I would, like to see that, because again, you guys know I'm heavy offensive line. So I have an archetype of what I think a good offensive lineman looks like and the traits, body composition that comes along with it. Parham is, woo! He's a thick boy. But what that translates to is power, burst, explosion. And he proved that. He proved that he could move. He proved that he could move 100%. And this is 100% right, too. No sloppy body lineman. No siree. No siree. I'm very particular with my offensive linemen. I want my offensive linemen to be athletic. Prerequisite, athletic, first step quickness. Need it. So you can't be big, Oh, that sucks. All right. So Jeff Gladney, former cornerback of the Vikings, he's a former first-round pick, is signing with the Cardinals. I don't like that. I don't like that. The reason why I don't like that is because I like Gladney. I like Gladney. Jeff Gladney out of TCU. He was my favorite cornerback prospect in that draft class that he was coming out. So I think he's good. He obviously got into the off-field issue that got cleared. But Jeff Gladney, 25 years old, former first-round pick, cornerback, signs with NFC West division rival Cardinals. Why is it that it feels like all my favorite players in the draft go to like division rivals? Why does that have to happen like that? So Gladney's good. He has the potential to be a number one cornerback. So, and they get him for probably nothing. So that's a good get for the Cardinals. Stupid Cardinals. Son of a gun. Oh boy, baby. Today's going to be wild. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks land a player. They just landed Uchenna Nwosu, another guy that I really liked coming out of his draft class. He's a really good edge rusher. He's kind of he kind of reminds me of Hassan Reddick a little bit. Yep, exactly. He kind of reminds me of Hassan Reddick a little bit. Same kind of versatility on the edge, quick twitched, kind of not total comp, but similar traits. I believe Nwosu is coming out of USC. If I'm not mistaken, again, I don't remember. It was a couple years ago. I believe he was coming out of USC. He was a guy that I liked a lot. He now heads up north, so that's two. Well, again, I was just talking about it. Why do all the guys that I like go to division opponents? Why? Why do you do this to me? So there's two up, two down in division. Get Gladney to the Cardinals. You get Nwosu to the Seahawks. Shame. What if Chandler Jones is waiting? What if Chandler Jones is waiting for a reason? Ooh. What if Chandler Jones is waiting for a reason? Hey, Chandler, what are you doing? Chandler, what you doing? What you doing, Chandler? You waiting for something to pop off? Waiting for something crazy to go down? You just waiting, Chandler? What are you waiting for, my guy? Hey, Chandler, what are you waiting for? You waiting for a certain domino to fall? Oh, could you imagine, bro? Could you imagine? Because it was reported today that there's free agents waiting on Deshaun Watson to make his move. It was reported today that there are free agents that are just waiting. Just waiting. I'm off the rails, bro. I've done so many hours of lives, and it's only Wednesday. I've done so many hours of lives. I think I've officially just lost it. I think I've been I think we've been I think I've been talking about this quarterback situation for so long that I think I've just officially just lost it. Coffee's hit. I drink a lot of caffeine this morning. I drink a lot of caffeine this morning. So, hey, it's what you get. It's what you get, I guess. I don't know. Luke says, I've been saying Chandler, let Jones and Key go. DJ Jones, that is. Lakin already walked. Bring him in, but now there's Watson. Oh, boy. What? I mean, my goodness. Like, can we just, have a quarterback to root for and just know? Oh, boy. So, anyways, maybe there's a world that exists where Chandler Jones is just waiting. He's just waiting on the 49ers to make a move because he wants to go see Arizona 2 times a year. So maybe just wait a little bit. Chris says, my tinfoil hat thought is Debo is purchasing a house in Miami because he knows that Mike McDaniel is going to float us a couple ones for him. Ooh. I like that theory. Big fan of theories here. Again, they don't have to be factually accurate, but we can put it through the spin cycle. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Dang it! Breaking news. 4-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Chandler Jones is signing with the Raiders. Breaking news. As we're literally talking about the guy. Chandler Jones signs with the Raiders. The Raiders? Ugh. The Raiders. So instead of Bosa and Jones, we're getting Crosby and Jones. I can't believe it. Let's see. I think they paid him a lot of money, too. I think they paid him a good amount. So 17. So Mike Garoppolo is reporting that this is in the 17 million per year range. So they're reporting that's a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. Like they must have cashed him out. Wow. So again, Garoppolo's reporting potentially in the 17 million a year range. Yep. That's huge. Wow. He got paid. So we can't compete with that. 49ers can't compete with that. They can't. Oh, good point. Good point. Good point. Yannick? Release Yannick. And we'll add him with Chris Kursek because we've had a lot of success with picking up some Raider, defensive ends that they've potentially let go. Maybe they let go Yannick, but if they keep Yannick and they keep Crosby and they keep Jones, wow, talk about a pass rush. Talk about a pass rush. So, I mean, oh, what a day, bro. What a day. Oh, this is a good point. Von Miller? Maybe. Oh, big quarterback news, guys. Big quarterback news. Joe Flacco has signed a 1-year deal with the Jets. Boom. Shout out to Joe Flacco for maintaining a job as long as he has. Oh boy. Let's see. So, oh boy. You guys don't like my tricks? You guys don't like my tricks? Again, I'll say this again. If there's legitimately gonna be, like, big quarterback news, especially in relation to the 49ers, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, big quarterback news." I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna, like, go crazy. So if the 49ers do something, I'm going crazy. So if I'm just like, "Oh, big quarter," like, no. Like, if you see me jump out of my chair, start throwing things, like I threw my tinfoil hat because Chandler Jones got signed in the middle of us talking about Chandler Jones. I'm just saying, just be prepared. You know, deep down, I am a troll. Did you guys know I got my start on this path? So I want to see if anyone remembers this. Do you guys remember a Twitter account called Joan from Payroll? Do you guys remember that? Does anyone remember Joan from Payroll? I think that would have been like what, 2016? 2015? I think my first 49ers related account was a Twitter account where I was Joan from Payroll. Oh goodness. NorCal remembers. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. But hey, I'm down for a good troll. Troll confessions. Yes. Facts. Yes. That's why, like, at a certain extent, like, some people come, like, and try to troll me, like, I'll be like, "Let it ride a little bit. Let it ride." You know, it's hard to troll a troll. So, I got some troll blood in there. I got some troll blood in there. I had some fun yesterday. That's all I was doing yesterday. The whole eye emojis thing started by Jordan Elliott's, legendary tweet, and we got all the 49ers Twitter just posting eye emojis. That was fun. He called me out. I'll look at it right now. This is the only way I'll do it. All right. What's your Instagram name? What is your Instagram name? What's your Instagram name? Zay Too Smooth. I need it now. You have the golden opportunity is right here in front of you. I don't really ever go into my DMs unless it's for a reason. All right. Real ones remember. Real ones remember. All right, we're moving on. I gave you a chance. We're on to the next. We're on to the next. All right. Let's see. Next order of business. Okay. Let's see. So Chandler Jones on the Raiders. Not going to be potential for the 49ers. So that just happened. So now we wait. We're inching close to the start of the new league year. Again, the official start. The official start to the new league year. Shout out Luke. The official start to the new league year is 1:00 Pacific Standard Time. So 1:00 Pacific Standard Time. Feels like we're working towards that. Feels like we're working towards that time. And what's going to be really fun about that is Jason Aponte, Spicy Aponte, and I will be doing our State of the Franchise episode at 1:30. So if you want some spicy reactions to potentially some fireworks, I suggest you tap into our weekly conversation because we're gonna get Spicy Aponte's takes on all this stuff that's going down, and he's got something to say. He's got something to say. So stay tuned for that. Luke says Za'Darius Smith and OJ Howard, both good pickups. Oh, I agree. If you could get Za'Darius and you could get Za'Darius for a budget, like a cost-effective rate, hell yeah. Do it. Not only that, but if you can get OJ Howard, I wouldn't mind that either. Now clearly he's had injury history. He hasn't performed to the ability of which we had hoped for. What's this? The Colts are done trying to address defensive side of the ball. Okay, that doesn't matter to us. Okay. OJ Howard, I think you get him for cheap. You have the injury history plus just overall lack of production. He had a really hard time of even overtaking Cameron Brate with the Bucks. So if you get him for cheap, hell yeah. If you get him for cheap, he has the upside. But again, he's been injured, so it'd be a low risk, potentially high reward. I would be more expecting mid reward from OJ. But speaking of tight end, don't sleep on Bob Tonyan. Robert Tonyan, former Green Bay Packers tight end. He exploded with like a 10 touchdown season, and then he got hurt. But hey, good old Bobby and Kittle are bros for life. They train every offseason together. A guy that they just signed, or I forget his last name. I keep calling him Oren. Oren Burks, has been training with both Bob Tonyan, George Kittle in Tennessee since 2018. So this is a good one. Yeah, 100%. I know Kyle tried to get Hooper. I know that for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised by that either. Again, the only concern I would have about this is what is Hooper's price tag? I would imagine it's not going to be high, but I would say it's going to be higher than what Tonyan would get. So I imagine there'll be a market for Hooper. So it'll just be a cost conversation probably at the end of the day. Um, Luke says Bobby will cost more, I'd say, but I really like him and he will block as well. Sean says the same thing. Tanyan can block, and that's the key emphasis here. The key emphasis is, again, I like OJ. But uh I don't look at him as an impact blocker like I do Tanyan. And I think I would actually prefer the blocker over the upside as a receiver. What's this? Source Falcons meeting currently with Deshaun Watson in Houston. NFL South Club has submitted trade proposal to them, as have Brown, Saints, and Panthers. So Deshaun Watson is currently meeting with the Falcons. What's good, coach? He says, I'm back in the fold, bruh. He said, how to get a bag? Hey, get your bag, bro. Get your bag however you need to get it. Oh, come on. Sorry. Squirrel. Then we'll get back to this. Von Miller. Von Miller is headed back to the Rams. Oh, boy. Von Miller and the Rams are working towards a deal. They believe he will be back together. So, Von Miller, welcome back to the NFC West. Coach says 100% remote IT gig. I'm at the crib now, my boy. I'll be around a lot more. We missed you, coach. We missed you, and we're going to need you. We're going to need you, coach, because the smoke is back, baby. The smoke is back. There's Deshaun smoke. Like, again, don't just poo-poo that Jim Trotter tweet. Do not do that. That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake to look at Jim Trotter's tweet and just completely disregard it. Trotter is only tweeting that for a reason. What does Coach think? Coach, what do you think? What do you think, Coach? I'm asking Coach specifically. What do you think about the situation with Deshaun Watson? What is your take? And if you aren't aware, Jim Trotter came out today, put together like a 7-tweet thread, carefully explaining how the 49ers actually could be interested in Deshaun and how the Deshaun could be interested in the 49ers. What do you think about that, Coach? What do you think? Viable? Is it crazy? I don't know. I don't know. But today could be wild. Today could be wild. Today could be wild. So, feels like as we inch closer to that 1 p.m. deadline of the start of the new league year, lots of things can happen. So it's going to be very interesting, man. What does Steve say? Steve says, I think it's valuable as the Niners can offer Trey Lance, thus lessen the sting of not having Deshaun Watson. 100%. And I would imagine too, they're probably adding more. It'd probably be Trey Lance plus. So if that happens, it's probably Trey Lance plus. Um, so it'll be interesting. Jesus says, "What hoodie is that?" This is the homies, Greg Ivory, who runs Bleacher Report betting. Shout out to Bleacher Report fam. Sent me the hoodie. I love this hoodie, by the way. It's fire. Faith. Oh, that he's back. It took him a while. Faithful to the Bay, Zay. What did he send me again? Again, I really only go into DMs if there's a purpose. If I don't have a purpose, I don't really go in my DMs because it's insane. Faithful to the Beze. All right, we're disrupting the stream. Oh. I got nothing. I seen you tag me in some stuff, but I don't have anything. I imagine this is you, my boy. I'm sure you could tell by the profile picture. I got nothing. It's a bunch of you tagged me. I don't see anything in there. I don't see anything. Oh, coach responded. There we go. There we go. Okay, 250. I'll watch that for sure. I'll watch it. But I'll watch it later because that's too long for now. And I'm responding. You're lucky. Okay. Now I can see it. All right. What'd coach say? Coach said, again, we asked coach, what did he think about the Deshaun situation? You got to look at it from a price of doing business perspective. Bingo. Do the ends justify the means? Do we sell the farm for a QB or do we stand pat with our investment? I think sticking with Trey is best. It's the ethical play. Okay, take ethics out of it, coach. Take ethics out of it. Does that change? The Arizona Cardinals signed tight end Max Williams to a 1-year deal. Not terribly worried about that particular move. But I think what coach is what he is saying is fundamentally correct. You have to look at this from a business standpoint. If you're putting yourself in John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's shoes, they're not looking at this 100% from a person-to-person element. Because, again, at a certain point, when you cross over into the offseason, all these players become a line item in a spreadsheet. At a certain point, they become a line item in a spreadsheet. So you have to remove some of the personal aspects out of it. But of course, it's going to also play into the fact. But at the end of the day, it's a business. What is the cost? How much would it take? Again, you still have the off-field situation. So maybe there is a world that exists where, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And again, we know the NFL, they don't care at a certain time. At a certain point, if you're available and you can play, um, so it's gonna be interesting, man. It is going to be interesting. Another aspect of it, coach, that we were talking about, is that it's let's say that did happen and those rumors are true and the 49ers were able to get something done. Well, let's say it's like a Lance Watson swap or whatever. We were talking about also at the same time, you're taking the number one quarterback off the market, and then you technically have the next best quarterback on the market, and his value goes up, and you still own him. So there's another world that exists where you give up assets to get Deshaun Watson, but you're simultaneously raising the value of Jimmy Garoppolo based on the supply and demand model. Again, who needs a quarterback? And if the 49ers somehow made an insane move to kind of pluck out the number one quarterback and then they're still holding on to Jimmy G, and we know Baker is not going back to the Browns. If you've hopped into any of these Brown spaces, bro, they are selling themselves on Jimmy Garoppolo as being, one of the next best options, without Baker Mayfield in the mix. So it's there's a lot of clearly there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that needs to be figured out, but it is just something that's interesting to think about because it's not just Trey. It's not just Trey and Deshaun. It's also Jimmy. It's also like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, but hey, we'll see. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to just go back and forth about. But we'll see. Again, we're just throwing it all out there. We're having a conversation and we're just talking about all the scenarios and the thoughts that go into it and seeing what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. We're not making definitive statements, we're not making definitive claims about anything. We're having a conversation. So, um it's going to be interesting. Yes, 100%. I agree with this. So, like I said, I think I'm about hit 2 hours now, so I feel like that's a good time to hop off. I think we've talked about the Deshaun Watson situation into the ground. I think we've done a really good job of covering it, in its entirety. Um, I think there's a reason to, sorry, squirrel. Lost my train of thought. But we took a stab at it. We we discussed the options. We discussed the past. We discussed uh, theories, thought processes, potential projections, and I think at least when we pulled the chat would feel it's a low percentage chance that this is going to happen. I don't think any of us would really bet on it to happen, but there is a sliver. There is a sliver where this could actually go down. So, uh, Jerry Rice jersey. Not here. You won't find a Jerry Rice jersey here. Yeah, and we're actually running on 4 platforms. We're running on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So we're actually on 4 platforms currently at the moment. Also, spam the like button if you haven't already. Spam the like button if you haven't already. And sit back, relax, I pulled up. I swear I pulled up your tweet and we talked about it. I thought I asked you another question. Did you send another response? We talked about the price of doing business. I think you had mentioned it's the ethical play. I had said what would your thoughts be if you took ethics out of it? Um, so I responded to you as well, good sir. Because again, at a certain point, if the legal clears and they're at the end of the day concerned about will you be available, can you play, maybe that changes. Oh, you responded again. Okay. Did I miss it? Where is it? Huh. You might have to resend it. The last one I'm seeing is the one I responded to. I'm not seeing the other one. That's weird. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. It's weird. Yeah, it's not showing me your response, unfortunately. Last one I have from you is the original question, but put it in there. 241 so yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm at 241 right now. Yeah, it's not there. It's weird. I believe you. I believe that you responded, but it's not showing. It's weird. It's weird. If you want, you can try retyping it. Maybe I don't know, maybe it just got stuck. Oh, are we getting we getting some Ram slander going? I'm all for that. I'm all for the Ram slander. Let's see. I want to see what coach said because I know he's going to have a good answer. Before I get out of here, I want to see if maybe he can throw it back up potentially. But yeah, today's going to be a crazy day. We're almost an hour away of the official start to free agency. So we're going to see, man. Lots of stuff can happen. Lots of stuff can go down. We are getting some Deshaun smoke. Clearly, Chandler Jones was a guy that we liked. Was a dream fit, but he goes somewhere else. I'm still not. So if you guys are seeing Coach respond, maybe you could copy and paste what he's saying because I can't see it. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. There it is. He says, yeah, it changes our standard as an org, switching out Trey Lance for Deshaun Watson is going to be nothing but ethics. We already know Deshaun Watson is better. It says the Niners value wins over ethics. We'd be bought, not built. Ooh. I like that. I like that. It would. And again, what do the Niners value? What do they value? Do they value ethics? Do they value wins? Do they value the process or do they value the outcome? That's going to be interesting. And I think if they do make a move, if, big if, then I think that would answer that question, right? It would answer that they value the wins. They value what it could be. They value the thought and the attainability of getting a Super Bowl opposed to building a process of getting to the Super Bowl. So that is interesting. And we're going to find out. Again, even with all this conversation, the 49ers could absolutely just, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're sticking with Trey. We're going to develop Trey. We're going to build around Trey. We're going to give him everything he needs to be successful. We're going to give him two solid years, 3 solid years to gain the experience and develop from there. So I would imagine that's the most likely outcome, is that's what the 49ers do, is that the 49ers stay with Trey Lance, because as we totally understand, it's not just what the 49ers do. It's what the Texans do. It's what the Falcons do. It's what the Saints do. It's what all those kinds, there's a lot of variables. So it's not just what the 49ers want. It's what Deshaun wants. It's what the Texans want. It's what agents, there's so many things to it. But I will say this. I don't know if Kyle necessarily values the process, because I see a guy in Kyle who wants to expedite the process. I see a guy who had to. We'll see, man. We'll see, but it's gonna be very interesting. If it happens, you guys know what it is. It's gonna be a nuclear bomb of content. It's gonna be crazy. So I think at this point, we'll probably pick up more Deshaun Watson talk when I go on with Jason Aponte at 1:30. Definitely want to get Spicy Aponte's thoughts on Deshaun, on the noise and the smoke, and what he thinks about that. So that is going to be a fun episode. So make sure you guys tune in for that at 1:30. All that stuff. Coach says if they value the wins, getting Deshaun Watson, then it's about nothing but the Super Bowl. We'd be the West Coast Dallas, delusional fan base who can't even enjoy their team. That's funny. That's funny. That's a good one. The West Coast Cowboys. Dude, we're gonna find out, man. We're gonna find out. Again, we love talking about it. We love, hey, we call ourselves the smoke chasers for a reason. If we smell smoke, we're gonna chase it down, and we're just gonna see what it's about. So I think we have done our due diligence in regards to hunting down this smoke. We put it on a timeline. We discussed it. We ran it through the ringer multiple times. We've gotten multiple takes on it. So I think there's a ton of validity to what Coach is saying here. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if smoke is just smoke, or if they do something crazy. So we will wait and see. We'll wait and see if the 49ers become West Coast Cowboys. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. So, again, stay tuned. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on IG. I'll be doing all that stuff. Again, come back around at 1:30. Jason Aponte is going to be on. We're going to be doing our dual stream. So that live's already up. So if you want to keep the live chat going and you want to transfer the chat to that live, and you can do that as well. So again, you can use that as like I said, literally a live chat if you wanted to. So that live is already up. If you hop in there, smash that like button when you get in, and we're gonna turn up today, man. We're gonna turn up. It's a half an hour. It's a half an hour after the start of the new league year. So we could be discussing some crazy things as well as seeing things happen in real time. So we'll see. We will see what it looks like. So I'm gonna hop off here now. Wasn't expecting to be talking about Watson at all today. Was not expecting to hop on this live today and talk about Watson. Was not expecting it. So, hey, we'll see. We understand we're not surprised by anything in the NFL these days. We're not surprised by anything these days. So, we're going to keep our ear to the ground, and we will see what happens. Again, vibe with us at 1:30. I'll see you guys then. Smash the like button on your way out. I'd really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell in the corner. Get those notifications going, because if we go live, there might be a time where we just go up because something goes crazy. So make sure you are locked in with us, and be prepared. Not saying anything will happen, but anything can happen. So we'll be prepared, and we'll be on live the second anything goes down. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Jimmy get traded? Because I know we talked a lot about Deshaun. We still got to trade Jimmy. Let's trade Jimmy first. Maybe we do that first. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But excited to see what the landscape looks like in an hour and a half. Could be dramatically different. So we're going to find out. Appreciate you guys as always. Vibes were great today. I want to specifically shout out the mods. I want to specifically shout out the Sourdough Squad, because today the SDS in the chat, again, this was an unexpected topic. It's a lot to wrap your head around. We've all been through so freaking much as fans, as people who produce content around the San Francisco 49ers. The quarterback conversation has been constant since literally the last throw of the Super Bowl from Jimmy Garoppolo. So it's been a process, guys. It's been a process. So I appreciate the level-headed responses. I appreciate, even when we disagree, that we have an ability to talk through it and talk about the different variables that come along with each different perception, conversation. So I appreciate you guys being super chill today, because again, I think we all want to rally around that quarterback. We all want to rally around that quarterback, Trey Lance, whoever. We just want to rally. So I understand, it's a topic that can be annoying. But we got to follow it. We got to follow the smoke. So hey, it is what it is. I appreciate all you guys for tapping in, and I will see you guys at 1:30. I appreciate you all. Let's get it.